this is Darius James and welcome to Spartan Health and Nutrition.com. Welcome to the video. You can hit the subscribe button below if you like the content or give a thumbs up. And I also have the podcast, and you can also view the blog post on the blog. Now today in this video, I am going to be talking about emotions. I'm going to be talking about thoughts, because our thoughts and emotions make us who we are. Now the reason why you're even at Spartan Health and Nutrition is because every one of us is going through a transformation. And we want more positivity. We want to achieve greater results within our life. And in order to do that, we have to take action. We have to take massive action. We can't hold it off and procrastinate and think about what we're going to do or make plans. Don't let your subconscious fool you. You have to take action right now, to this day, as soon as possible. And your younger self will transform into who you want to become later on in life. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. So in this video, I am going to teach you 5 steps to transform your negative thoughts and emotions. Very powerful. I'm going to teach you 5 steps to transform your negative thoughts and emotions. What are you doing to deal with your negativity? What are you doing to transform yourself? How many books have you read to transform yourself? How many videos have you researched to transform yourself? How many ideas? What's your thought process around positivity and transforming yourself? Many people lack in this area because it doesn't even cross their mind to research and develop these habits. Now, I'm going to teach you step number 1. First, you have to control your thoughts. And if you control your thoughts, you can control your emotions. First, you have to control your thoughts. And to control your thoughts, you have to control your emotions. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. And it took me years of research to learn this and implement it in my life. And the way a thought works is, first, a thought becomes an emotion. Whatever we think about becomes an emotion. Right? And then those emotions swell inside of you. They take root. And over time, those thoughts and emotions will nourish each other. Those are the 3 steps of how a thought and emotion correlates. That could be positive or negative. And most of the time, you don't even realize it until it is negative. And when it gets to that point, that's what leads up to your stress. That's what leads up to your anxiety. How do you deal with those things? How do you deal with stress? How do you deal with negativity? How do you deal with anxiety? How do you deal with rejection? How do you deal with those negative forces of nature? Your body will let you know, because it's just a reflection of what's going on in your environment. Your body will let you know what's going on in your life, emotionally, not just physically. It's up to you to change that if you are dealing with negativity, and to transform yourself into a better expression of yourself. Stay true to yourself. It doesn't matter what other people say about you. It matters what you say about you. That's what shapes your destiny. Never forget that. It's very powerful. Now, for example, if I say to myself all day, I'm fat, right? Man, I'm so fat. I look in the mirror, as we all do in the morning, while we're about to get ready for the day, and I look myself in the mirror and I say, man, I am so fat. Right? What's wrong with me? You start to pull on the fat and you're just thinking about it constantly. What would happen because of that? It could transform your emotions into sadness. It could lead up to shame. Right? Now, as you dwell on your weight, you start to think about the habits that you have of why you're even overweight in the first place. Right? And then that reinforces that belief why you are fat until that chain is broken. That is so negative to think like that. And I often did. And I didn't even realize what I was doing. My subconscious wasn't even at that level to really focus and change. I was just so fixated. When I would say about 23 years old, that's when I really had my rude awakening. I was eating a lot of pasta. I was absorbing a lot of wheat, a lot of grain. On top of that, I was stressed and I wasn't working out. I used to be very in shape, but over time, my emotions suffered. So I suffered mentally. I suffered physically. And I stepped on a scale one day and I was 240 pounds. And I'm only 5'9". So that let me know that I'm overweight. There was no denying it. Because it's hard to see it when you look yourself in the mirror every day. You don't see that progression until you look at pictures that you might have taken, years ago, and then you see your body then, and then you see your body now. And that's how most people associate with their weight. It's by looking at past pictures. And you say to yourself, man, I've really got to change. I've let myself go. Take the next step after that. You realize there's a problem. Now take massive action. And if you go on Spartan Health and Nutrition, there's plenty of massive action to be taken. Where to be taken. How to be taken. And what I do for my life. And what has happened in the lives of others. Right? So the second step is you want to develop a process to experience positive emotions. Develop a process. That's my next step. Now that we realized, hey, I've got to change. Now it's time to develop a process. Don't just go from start to finish, what so many people do. They think, okay, now I have a problem. This is what I want to look like. Let me go to the gym and fix that. There's more to that. There's more to that. When you're overweight, not only your body is suffering physically, but it's also suffering emotionally. Okay? So develop a process. Now the first thing you have to do in your process in order for it to be effective is you have to have this process here. First thing that happens is interpretation. Okay? It goes interpretation, then it goes identification. That with repetition and all those added together become an emotion. Interpretation plus identification plus repetition equals an emotion. That's how it works. That's the process. Now, interpretation, really what this means is it provides clarity. Interpretation provides clarity, and it's positive or negative. It could be either or, depending on what's your mindset. But that could be positive or negative. Essentially, interpretation is just your point of view. How you view things. Do you look at an experience as a glass half full, or do you look at an experience as a glass half empty? That's a question that we were all taught as growing up, correct? So what do you see it? Do you see it as half full or half empty? The line is even. It's your mindset and your choice to view it half full or half empty. So the next step is identification, right? Now, identification is viewing events and then taking them on how you want to feel. And like I said, that's a choice. Some people literally choose negativity. They will take the worst possible outcome out of that experience. And people like that really need to transform themselves, and they really need change. But I've transformed myself where anything that happens in my life, especially failure, I don't view it as I'm not good enough. What I view failure is success and progress. I'm not quite there yet, but if I keep going, it's almost like a loading bar on a video game. We see it loading in progress. That's how I view failure. It's just going to take a little bit more time, but it's attainable. That's why I feel I need to work on myself. I need to better myself. I need to improve. Not that I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or this is too hard, or this is taking too long. No, I don't think like that. And your thoughts is the real power that you have. Your mindset is the real power that you have. So take that in consideration next time you have a bad experience. See the best possible outcome that you have, and then just progress and move forward. Because that experience is leading you closer to that success. So don't be too hard on yourself. Now, after identification, then you have repetition. And repetition is a replicated thought. Okay, you start to replicate your thoughts through repetition. And that thought identifies with that belief system that you have. That thought identifies with the belief system that you have created. Nobody forces you to think a certain way. One great book that I read was Man's Search for Meaning. And that book really dove deep into psychology on how thought process work. So if you haven't read that book, I strongly recommend that you do. It really changed my life, and I had a lot of value from it. So I'm not affiliated with that in any way, shape, or form. I just read that book, and I suggest you to do so also. It really will help you dive deep and understand yourself on a more personal level. Now that we have that process, the next step that you want to take, which is number 3, is you want to amplify excitement. You want to amplify your excitement. We all get excited about something. You want to amplify it, boost it up. You want to find things that make you excited and run with it, whatever that is for you. For me, what makes me excited is my morning ritual. My morning ritual really gets me pumped up in the morning. My evening ritual gets me pumped up in the evening. I bathe myself in this motivation and inspiration on a daily basis to achieve my goals. To reach and have fundamentals, to have principles and strategies that lead me to the results that I am after. Now, what are you doing to amplify your excitement? What are you doing? Or are you coming home from a hard day and then turning on the television? That is doing nothing for you. Even listening to music, dancing. Maybe your excitement comes from an external source, like spending time with your loved ones, spending time with your husband, with your wife, with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Maybe that will amplify your excitement. There's many shapes, forms, and fashions. But make sure that you amplify your excitement every single night. You can do it with others or you can do it with yourself. But make sure that you participate with that on a daily basis. because those small events will compound on your emotions, and it'll lead you to a better expression of yourself. It will maximize your achievement. Now, some things I ask myself in my morning ritual are like, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for? I have a lot to be grateful for. I'm grateful that I have both my arms. It doesn't have to be anything major. I have clear vision. When I was in school, when I was in high school, there was a girl that was blind. She couldn't see. I couldn't imagine going through life and not being able to see. But you never saw her frowning. And that really taught me something about life. She could be depressed all day long. She's never seen a flower. She's never seen the sky. She's never seen her parents. I couldn't imagine life without sight. We all take for granted just the simple things. But you never saw her frown. Every single day she had a smile on her face. Because she chose to focus on the positivity of her life. And that really taught me something about myself. That I'm stressing myself out over nothing. That I'm being too hard on myself. If she could find happiness, why can't I? If she could find excitement and joy, why can't I? Why don't I? Right? So I started asking myself these questions, and I started to change. I started to transform into a better expression of myself. Now, the next thing that you want to do is boost your self-esteem. That's number 4. You want to boost your self-esteem. Now, in order to boost your self-esteem, it could be many things. It comes in many shapes, forms, or fashions. What are you doing to boost your self-esteem? What are you doing? Take the time to think about that. To realize that. Question yourself. I do it on a day-to-day basis. I always question myself. Because then you can find out who you truly are. You don't have to have somebody else tell you. You could truly find out who you are by asking yourself certain questions. And being honest with yourself. Another question that I ask is, what am I passionate about? What am I passionate about? I'm passionate about learning, first and foremost. I'm very passionate about learning. That's probably number 1 on my list. Because knowledge is power. And I'm using it for a positive force in nature to help the world. I have many things I'm passionate about. Because I want to achieve my ultimate vision. And live the lifestyle that I deserve. And help the people that are in need. For example, many plans that I have that I like to share with you guys that I haven't really told anyone is I want to help build schools with the money that I receive through my business over time. I want to help build schools and have programs and help people that are in a worse situation than myself to transform their life so they can have the same opportunities to transform their life to the life that they deserve. I'm passionate about working with my team to motivate them and inspire them to help shape the world in a more positive manner. So those are a few things that I am passionate about. What are you passionate about? What are you truly passionate about? Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your parents. Maybe it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. Maybe it's your job. What are you passionate about? Another question that I ask myself is, what am I looking forward to? What am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to creating new products. I'm looking forward to learning new workout routines. I'm looking forward to making a difference in this world and leaving it better than when I came in. That's what I'm truly looking forward to. I'm looking forward to learning new ideas. I'm looking forward to creating new possibilities for myself and for others. I'm looking forward to transforming my relationships. What are you looking forward to in your life? Now, after you boost your self-esteem, the tip number 5 is magnify your confidence. You want to magnify your confidence. Okay? Now, in order to do this, you have to visualize the task being done. You have to know that whatever you're doing, you have to see the reward from that. Because if you do dumb things, you get dumb rewards. But if you do positive things and uplifting things, you get positive rewards and uplifting rewards. If you do positive things all day long, positive things will happen in your life. It's the laws of nature. A lot of people call it karma. What goes around comes around, right? So if I spend all day doing positive things, helping people, reading, learning, and expressing myself to others, what will happen in my life? That same circle will come back to me, and I'll receive a positive reward from that, right? And that's what I hope to inspire. When I started Spartan Health and Nutrition, I had the idea that people could grow as I grow. And as I help the world, not only can I see it for myself, but other people in the world could witness it. Right? And that's what I hope to do with Spartan Health and Nutrition. Now, that's the strongest thing that we have in our human nature. Right? This is to turn the invisible into visible. That's what it means to be human. That's what separates us from the rest of the creatures on the earth. We have the power of imagination. We could turn the invisible into the visible. But that could also be positive or negative. We've seen it throughout history. What would your history be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What would your history be? What mark would you leave on this world? And what you're passionate about and what your belief system is will dictate that. And that's why we all need to transform every single day into a better expression of ourselves to maximize our achievements. So I had to formulate a business plan and really see the big picture. And now that I've done that, I'm implementing these processes, I'm seeing a positive reward. And I'm becoming who I've always wanted to become, a life leader, a coach, a mentor, a friend. I aspire to be a husband. I aspire to be a good father. What are you inspired to be? How do you magnify your confidence? And you can also talk to me on social media. So if you do want to express yourself, I'm more than happy to hear it, because then I can grow in my life as well. Maybe you have some steps I think, man, that's really, really positive. Maybe I need to do that as well to help myself. So you can also, in the description below, you can talk to me on social media. You can view the blog posts. You can listen to the Audible and receive value from any of my content. Because every blog post that I do always helps someone in need. And that's my mission in life, is to serve and help others. What's your mission in life? It's not just about what we have, it's about who we become. So as you think about these things, make sure that you take massive action in your life and provide value to yourself and to others. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.